boys and girls. Mrs. Jones here, sitting on my yoga mat. I am going to read you a book today. It is called Roselyn, Rutabaga, and the Biggest Hole on Earth. This book is about a little girl, a little rabbit girl, and she wants to dig the biggest hole on Earth. It's a little crazy, right? But she really wants to do it. And you can really do whatever you put your mind to, right? So that's what she wants to do. So while I'm reading this, I want you to be thinking about what fun things you could do at home. What crazy cool things could you come up with? Use your imagination. What could you do in your backyard? When I was a kid, I loved to make magic potions out of empty shampoo bottles and dirt and all kinds of gunk from the backyard. So think about it. When you're done with this book, maybe you'll think of something fun that you could do too. Roselyn, Rutabaga, and the Biggest Hole on Earth. Roselyn Rutabaga woke up with a plan. Today she would dig the biggest hole on Earth. Not a tiny mouse hole, not a medium-sized rabbit hole, the biggest hole on Earth. Maybe she would dig right down to the other side of the world. Maybe she would find a pirate's treasure. Who knows? Anything could happen. Looks like she might have a big imagination too. Roselyn thumped, 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 thumped down to breakfast. What are you going to do today, Roselyn? Asked her father. Roselyn munched loudly on her carrot flakes. I'm going to dig the biggest hole on Earth, she announced. Sounds like a good idea, said her father. I might dig all the way to China, she said, or even to the South Pole. I'd really like to meet a penguin. You'd better take a sweater, said her father. It gets pretty cold at the South Pole. I like how positive thinking her father is on her adventure that she wants to take. She started to dig. Whoa there, yelled a worm. What in the world do you think you're doing? I'm digging the biggest hole on Earth, sir, answered Roselyn. This is my front yard, shouted the worm. You can't dig your big old hole here, you silly rabbit. Roselyn blushed. Oh, I'm sorry, sir, she said. I'll dig somewhere else. The worm muttered angrily as he wriggled back down into the earth. Roselyn Rutabaga carefully filled up the hole. She started digging in another spot near the fence. She dug and dug. Then a mole appeared, blinking in the sunlight. What are you doing in my bedroom? He grumbled. I'm digging the biggest hole on Earth, she said. What on earth for? Asked the mole. I want to go to the South Pole, said Roselyn, to meet a penguin or two. Listen, said the mole. I dig holes all the time. Small ones, big ones. I'm a hole specialist. And I can tell you there are no penguins down there. That's because he hasn't dug the biggest hole on Earth, thought Roselyn. You woke me up, added the mole. Now I'm in a bad mood. I'm dreadfully sorry, said Roselyn. I'll dig somewhere else. Penguins, muttered the mole. What next? Elephants? He burrowed back into his sandy bed. In a moment he was snoring. Roselyn sighed. This was not going to be easy. Roselyn Rutabaga decided to dig the hole near the lilac bush. She looked around. No one in sight. She stamped the ground. No angry worm. No grouchy mole. She dug and dug and dug. Soon all you could see were the tips of Roselyn's ears. This will be the biggest, most beautiful hole in the world, thought Roselyn. People will line up to admire it. She dug faster. Maybe I'll find gold, she thought. Or maybe I'll find a dinosaur bone! Roselyn cried. She examined the bone. Roselyn was very excited. She would be famous. I'm sure this is a Triceratops' big toe, she said. It is not, barked a dog. I buried that bone last week. I got it at the butcher's, and I know he doesn't sell dinosaur bones. Roselyn threw the bone up to the dog. Thanks, barked the dog, and dig somewhere else. You're wrecking my bone cupboard. I'm noticing a pattern here. Are you guys noticing a pattern? She's not having much luck. Roselyn lay in the bottom of the hole. She sighed heavily. That means like she took a really deep breath. She's probably feeling a little discouraged. She would never dig the biggest hole on earth ever. My, said Roselyn's father, this must be the biggest hole in the universe. Roselyn, are you down there? Yes, whispered Roselyn. I can hardly see you, said her father. You must be hungry. Shall we eat lunch? Okay, answered Roselyn, but bring your sweater. It's really cold at the South Pole. So she's got a big imagination. She's saying she's at the South Pole right now. So her dad goes and grabs his sweater. Do you think penguins like carrot sandwiches? Asked Roselyn. I don't know, answered her father. As soon as we see one, we'll ask. Roselyn smiled. She couldn't wait to meet a penguin. Oh, there's a little penguin with a carrot sandwich. Oh, that was a cute book. So, Roselyn had to have a really big imagination. She really, really wanted to dig all the way to the South Pole to meet a penguin, but it wasn't going to work out for her. But she still did her very best to try and get there, and she didn't get discouraged or let down when it didn't happen. She kind of decided to just make up a new idea or thought of having, her big imagination and deciding, hey, let's run with it. Let's pretend we're at the South Pole. So her dad came outside, had lunch with her. They pretended they were at the South Pole, and they were waiting to see a penguin. So I challenge you all to find something cool that you guys can do. Use your imagination. Not everything's about video games, guys. You got to get outside. You need to try and do something fun out in the yard. Dig up something if it's okay with your parents. Okay? I want you guys to have some fun and explore. So, that was Roselyn Rutabaga and the biggest hole on earth. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye, guys.